Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Up today on the Young and the Restless, Diane convinces Jack to go along with her designs. Claire talks Kyle into dinner with Victor, and Nate is determined to convince Damien to stay. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes at the abattements. Jack finds Diane with her tablet. Thinking about how she will transform the space, he's alarmed. When he sees that this involves poofs from Morocco along with floor cushions, he assumes she's trying to get a reaction out of him. His wife asks if they are really that far apart. On this, Jack does his best to force a smile. Diane adds he's not to take these suggestions so seriously. He was expecting to at least get some design plans before any choices were made. She thinks that we'll have to wait until he's being less resistant to change. Getting on the defensive, he insists the place already has a certain charm. Yes, it has for decades. She jokes he's afraid she might go minimalist, and she threatens she might go avocado green. It would mean a lot to her if he would have faith in her. She promises he won't be disappointed. After some build-up, Jack admits he's just been testing her. Other than the avocado green, he's eager to make changes for all the generations living there, to give the old girl some new life. When she says it will be all tweaks and finishing, he likes that he's taking aback. When she announces it's time to pack, Jack assumes she's messing with him again, but she says they need to pack clothes to go on vacation. While the house is refreshed, he suggests they wait until summer and go to Italy. His wife informs him the design is done and everything is on the way. This feels like a trick to him, but she says it's speed and efficiency and leads him upstairs to pack. Kyle joins Claire on the lookout in Chancellor Park. From her demeanor, he immediately guesses she is upset and assumes it has to do with backing out of dinner. She's not exactly upset, but she is concerned it's not because of Harrison, since she thinks he's the sweetest, and it's not because Summer was there. It's because when she asked him about rescheduling, he texted, "If you insist." Kyle claims he was joking, but she doesn't believe it. They are having such a nice time together, she wants to share it with people. He explains that he doesn't hate the idea of dinner with her grandfather, but does think it will be futile. Regardless of how many dinners they have, he will still be Jack's son. Kyle can understand how much she cares about her grandfather and would never interfere with that. But do they really need his acceptance? Very much, she insists. He reminds her that her grandfather doesn't back down. She admits that's what everyone has told her, but she has no experience of it, and she's greedy for the impossible. It's a miracle she has a family who loves, and she's hoping for one miracle more. Kyle still thinks she's inviting disappointment. Claire wants things to be perfect, but assures him she won't walk away from him. If her grandfather doesn't approve, he's happy to hear that and tells her she deserves everything she wants. Apologizing again, Kyle regrets upsetting Claire. When she asks if her grandfather will always be an issue, he asks if Victor was even willing to have dinner with him. She admits he didn't agree to it, but reminds Kyle backed out. CLA believes in him and is sure both of them are capable of meeting halfway. Kyle expresses doubt that Victor would go that far. Claire is sure. Kyle thinks she's naive, but he insists he thinks she's fearless. Claire has no problem arguing with her grandfather because she knows he loves her. That means they can push the boundaries a little. Slapping his knee, Kyle suggests dinner with Victor. He's free tonight. Grateful, she gives him a kiss. Lily is at the bar in society, smiling at her phone when Victor wanders in. When he asks if she's happy to be working with her family again, she says she's happy to no longer be part of his toxic empire. Nikki joins her husband. She asks Lily, "Can't we try to embrace all's well that ends well?" Lily tells then she's happy to work with her family since they treat her with honesty and respect. No matter what excuses Nikki has, she used her, and she can't forgive that. After Victor walks off to a table, Nikki says her apologies were sincere and she would have loved for her to stay at Champ. Chancellor Lily points out that would have meant the demotion, and Nikki says it's common to go up and down the corporate ladder. She's sorry Lily was hurt, but she did make her own choices. They wish her the best and look forward to putting this behind them before Lily can leave. She tells Victor there is something he could do. If he wants to smooth things over, she needs some information on someone, no questions asked. The name is Damon Kane, and she can text him more later. The Newman agrees to look into it. After thanking him, Lily exits. Nikki admits she's glad things are thawing with Lily. She's fond of her and sings her praises. They wonder who Damon is. Victor doesn't care, and he'll handle it. Claire rushes in with some papers for Nikki to sign. Victor tells CLA how impressed her grandmother is by her efficiency. They discuss how exciting and stressful work is. When they admit they have no plans for the night, Claire tells her grandfather she'd love them to have dinner. I'd love that. He agrees. She adds she wants Kyle to join them. He purses his lips. He's surprised Kyle would agree to this. She says Kyle is important to her, and she'd like Victor's blessing. It will be sad and awkward if he snubs him. Nikki trusts her judgment and approves, sighing, crossing his arms, and then smiling. Victor says he thinks it will be a waste of time, but he'll do it for her. It will have to be later. CLA asks Nikki along, and she agrees. Their granddaughter is sure it will be wonderful and wanders off. Nikki thanks her husband. We'll see, he says, taking a drink on the patio of Crimson Lights. Audra and Holden talk about how no one can know about their past, particularly Nate. Hastings immediately interrupts and asks what they are discussing. He asks how Damon reacted to the news about his mother. Holden explains it was the news about his dad that hit him hardest. Nate insists Amy wants to fix things, and Audra echoes this. Holden says it won't happen. They are done with Joe City, and Damien is done with his mother. Nate asks what he can do to stop him. He's sure the guy has a soul and can see his mother is dying. Holden admits Amy seems like a good person, but this is not his life, and he won't harass his friend. He repeats that he and Damon are leaving in a few hours, so they should forget this. Once Holden walks away, Nate says this can't be how this ends for the family. Audra tells him there's only so much he can do, and there is family history he can't know. Damon has the facts they don't even know. Why stop talking to his mother? Nate knows Amy needs forgiveness if she can get it. Taking his hand, Ugadar says not all endings are happy ones. They can only do their best. If he keeps pushing and Amy gets her hopes up, that may only cause more pain. Nate senses a shift in Audra and wonders if Holden said something that got her to change her mind about this. She claims he didn't say much and reminds Nate that he may be Damon's blood, but they are also strangers. This isn't good enough for Nate. He calls Damien and leads a message begging for another shot to convince him to stay. As Audra listens, she worries. Nat comes over and says that if he can only get those two guys to stay, then anything can happen. She says back at the Avat Man's Jack and Diane bring their luggage down the steps, and she repeats they need to be out of the way while her team works their magic. He wants to see the plans, but she's sure he get fixated on some minor detail. She knows why this scares him. The house is his touchstone. It's where his heart lives, but they will continue to make memories there, and the family will grow and evolve. The love will never change that makes him tear up. Diane adds they can have a romantic getaway at the club and stay secluded in their room, giggling. Make kiss. Kyle joins them, and his father guesses he already knows all about the design plans. Kyle teases Jack by mentioning jackhammering and changing drapes. Jack has to take some deep breaths, and Kyle continues to taunt him. Diane tells her son he's a pot stirrer and leads Jack out, promising he will love it. After taking a look around, Jack takes a deep breath and exits. CCLA calls Kyle to ask him to meet at society later. Her grandfather agreed to dinner. Seriously, he asks. She doesn't like his response, so he says he would be delighted. Getting off the phone, Kyle mutters to himself into the lion's den. Back at Crimson Lights, Lily joins Audra and Nate, who complains about Damien's plans to leave. She thinks he should accept that, and Andrew agrees. Amy has already been let down more than once. Nate doesn't want her to lose her last chance to say goodbye to her family. Lily can understand that as long as he's still in Geno City, there's still a chance for all of us. Nate says. Andrew slips onto the patio to make a call. When Holden returns, she orders him out, and he begs her to meet in later for one drink. Before he goes, he can't leave without seeing her again. Next on The Young and the Restless, Victor reveals his revenge plot to Michael Daniel, gives Summer the third degree, and Jack and Diane make a big move.